friends, welcome to What's on My Face, where I tell you everything that's on my face in this week's episode of What's Up in Makeup. Thank you so much for joining me for this video live on my channel. Typically, this video is housed on whatsupinmakeup.com every single week. I have this video about what I use during the filming of the show. So if you're curious about what I'm wearing on my face in any other episodes of What's Up in Makeup, definitely check out whatsupinmakeup.com for those videos. But once a month when we do our evening chat at 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is daytime for a lot of people, but it's evening for me-ish. Evening-ish for me. This video goes live on the channel to give you something to do during our typical 10 a.m. chat time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into what's on my face. We're gonna go ahead and start where I started, which was face primer. Now the face primer I used today was the OFRA Silicone Primer Gel. Now this is a very deceiving name for this primer. It says Silicone Primer Gel, but if you look at the ingredients, the number one ingredient is water, and the very last ingredient is silicone, which is very, very strange to call it a silicone primer when it's really very, very little silicone. Now it looks like silicone. It's very strange. The second ingredient in this is ginkgo biloba, and then sorbitol, and then echinacea. The next ingredient after that is sodium hyaluronate, which it's like, what? Why didn't they use one of those as the name instead of silicone primer gel? When you put this on, it's very strange. It looks like a gel, but then when you rub it in, it feels very wet and very cooling, almost a water kind of feeling. As it's drying down, it gives a little tiny bit of a tackiness just as it's barely drying, like almost dry, and then it just dries down to nothing. It is very, very light. It feels fantastic on the skin, and it really, really helps my makeup to stay on longer. Now this was sent to me by OFRA quite a long time ago, but I did not tell them I was going to review it. They said review it if you want to, so I'm reviewing it for you, and I really, really like it a lot. Definitely recommend this. For foundation today, I'm wearing the Rimmel BB Cream Matte Beauty Balm 9-in-1 Skin Perfecting Super Makeup, and I'm actually really enjoying this product a lot. I don't hear a lot about it on YouTube, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a more full coverage for a BB cream, so you're looking at like a light to medium coverage. It definitely mutes out all discoloration. Like if I put it over top of my lips, you can no longer see my lip color, my natural lip color at all. It definitely kind of calms down my freckles a little bit, but you can still see my freckles through it. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Wear time on this is about 4 to 6 hours before it starts fading, which is pretty good. And I really do enjoy it. It's a nice product. My shade that I am using is the shade Light Medium. For concealer today, I am using the Sephora Gel Concealer in the shade Parfait. I was at the VIB Rouge sale at my local Sephora, and my friend Gail, who is in all parts of the community, recommended that I pick this up. I had heard about this on YouTube quite a few times, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So I grabbed it, I put it in my basket, and I bought it, and I do not regret it. It is really, really nice. Coverage is very good for my dark circles. Really enjoying that. I love doing the whole highlighting of this V section here. It looks really, really nice, and it has not been creasing on me except for once. Now, just don't make this mistake. If you accidentally put powder under your eyes, do not, under any circumstances, put this on over top. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea, because what ends up happening is it will accentuate every single line you have, and it will make it crack. Like it just straight up crackled. It was so horribly bad. But if you put your powder over top of it after this is set, no problems at all. So just be aware of that. But overall, huge win on the Sephora Gel Concealer. Now for eye primer today, I want to tell you about it, but then I have a little story. This is the L'Oreal Magic Decrease, and this is a relatively new product. Now, I've been using this for a good couple of weeks. I got this with my Ulta coupon. It was kind of an impulse buy with my Ulta coupon, the 20% off that my friend Shannon Q had let me use her coupon. She couldn't use it in Canada, so she sent it to me. That was very nice of her. Thank you so much, Shannon, for that. It's almost like the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, where it mutes out discoloration, but it's not quite as good as Eden. I really do feel like Eden is worth the investment over this, but I had tried the Kat Von D new eyeshadow primer that's supposed to mute out discoloration. I like this a lot better. It definitely does not, the shadows do not crease on me when I use it. Lasting power of the shadows with it is definitely much better than other drugstore primers that I have used. It's definitely better than the e.l.f. It's definitely better than the Lorac one that I have used, but this is the thing. Today I had a little debacle, and I don't know if it was the foundation, the primer, this, or a combination, but when I put this on, something happened where it broke up on my skin. Right here on the inner corner, just in the inner corner, it got all crackly and powdery, and I had to use a wet beauty blender-ish thing a beauty sponge. I had to use a wet beauty sponge to kind of pat out the product. Now, I do feel like it had to have been a combination of something else going on. Maybe the gel primer here, I don't know, but something, because it wasn't all over my lid, it was just right here. So I have a feeling I brought the primer up here as I was applying it, and it didn't mix well with it. So if you're having trouble with this, I recommend making sure you do not put it over top of any other product. Just put it straight onto your lids and see if that helps. So overall, this is a big win for me. I am gonna play with it more before I give a full review, because I'm nervous about this product. It makes me kind of go, I need to test this a little bit more. For eyebrows, I use the YBF Your Best Friend eyebrow pencil. Now, this is kind of the classic brow pencil. I think I remember this came out, I wanna say even before the Anastasia one, the roll-up pencil. I could be wrong on that, but I wanna say that it's older than that one. So it's got the roll-up form just like the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It is a harder formula. So you do have to kind of rub to get it on there, but this is what's great about this. This is called Universal Taupe. So if you are a makeup artist, this may be one you wanna invest in. If you do a very light stroke, then you have a nice shade for blondes. If you do it a little bit harder, you get a more brunette shade. If you do it really hard, you end up with dark brown. Like, really cool how it builds like that. I absolutely love it. So it's great for being able to kind of change your shade to a little more dramatic. So if you have lighter hair and sometimes you like to make your brows darker, this is a great one to have because it's kind of an all-in-one product in that way. Also, it's got the spoolie on the back, which of course is very nice, which I always seem to need. Okay, for eyeshadow today, it was kind of a process. So let me take you through the process of how I got this eye look, because it was kind of an experimenting and it didn't really go well, so I turned a different direction. So I started off using this JCat Beauty Triple Crown Baked Eyeshadow in Baked Alaska. What I was going for was a Prince Purple Rain kind of look in tribute. So I know it's like, you know, someone passes away, so I do an eyeshadow look in tribute. I know how ridiculous that absolutely sounds, but that was what I chose to do, so... Judge me if you will. All right, so we started off with this silver shade. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful silver shade. It is very opaque, very long wearing. It will blend away if you're too rough with it, so you just have to be careful when you're blending it that you don't blend it away. But these JCat Beauty trios are really, really nice. I think they're $6 for a trio. Don't get the blue one, but other than the blue one, I've really had great luck with these. You can get these at Ulta.com. Very, very nice product. So as I was doing that, I said, okay, now I need a crease color. So for my crease color, I dipped into my little black book of bronzers by Too Faced, and I used the Milk Chocolate Soleil as my crease color. That went on absolutely beautifully. And then I said, okay, I need to add some purple. So I went into my Bare Minerals. This is called Passionate Plum, and it's one of their mineral eyeshadows. And it was just too matte for the look that I was going for, but it is a beautiful shadow, so I do want to show it to you, especially if you want some subtle color on your eyes. This is an excellent choice for people that are looking to do a little bit of color but don't want something really wild. I think there are a lot of people out there that want to try some color but aren't sure how to incorporate it. This is a great shade to start with. I do have some old swatches, I apologize. This here is how that looks, and it's just a beautiful matte purple shade, and it's not loud in any way. It's a great, great shade. But unfortunately for this look, I wanted something a little more wild. So where I reached for to get that wild look was this shade right here. This is the Buxom shade in La La Lavish, and let me show you how beautiful this is. And it goes on the lid just like this. You can get a little bit more of a subtle tinge to it if you apply it with a brush, but I popped it on my lid with my finger, and oh my gosh, just absolutely gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of Makeup Geek's Duochrome in Blacklight, but this one is so much more beautiful in my opinion. I love Makeup Geek, but I really like this shade better for that effect. It's really, really stinking beautiful. Actually, let's get Blacklight. So this is Blacklight by Makeup Geek, and then this is the Buxom La La Lavish. And I feel like just the Makeup Geek falls a little short, but you gotta remember that the Buxom one is twice the price as well. So if you want a cheaper dupe, then the Makeup Geek one is a cheaper dupe. I don't feel like the Makeup Geek one lasts nearly as long as the Buxom though, just so you know. But they're very, very, very similar. Then to finish off the look, I use my Lorac Pro that my sister-in-law Amy gave me, and I used just the black shade in the outer corner over here. And I did have to take 2 passes on this for the black shade because I felt like when I blended it, it blended out too much. So I wanted more of a punch of black, so I had to add more in just to give me a little bit more of a smoky eye. So definitely the black, be careful with it as far as if you want a really black, you might have to do a couple of passes on it for this. And that was the eye look. That's what we got going on right now. And then, so let's go ahead and move on to eyeliner. My eyeliner today is the Tarte So Fine liquid eyeliner. And this eyeliner is so fine in so many ways. And this is probably one of my favorite Tarte products of all time. This is a wonderful, wonderful eyeliner. The way that the pen, it is a pen tip, and the way that it bends is just perfect. It is so tiny, it is so fine. If you are looking for, if you're not used to doing eyeliner and you're looking for something to start with for eyeliner, I definitely recommend this because it is so fine. You're gonna get the tiniest, tiniest, tiniest little line. You just wanna keep it really close to your lash line, but it is so easy to work with. It's so black and so fun to use. And the bend on it is perfect. Just a wonderful eyeliner for beginners and for people that are experienced as well, because it cuts out your time when something goes on so easily and effortlessly. It cuts out the time that you need to invest in your makeup application routine. For cheeks today, I am really loving Makeup Revolution. Really loving it. So glad people in the community recommended it. I think most of the Facebook group really recommended Makeup Revolution to me as one of the big reasons why I bought so much Makeup Revolution. I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes, and then I have a blush, I have a highlighter, but this blush is really, really nice. And for a drugstore blush, a lot of drugstore blushes either lack in pigmentation or they have too much pigmentation. And what you really want in a blush, in my opinion, that is most useful is one that builds. So it starts off with a light application, but then you can get a little more if you want, you can get a little more if you want, and get a little more if you want. And that's how you can get it to work on lots of different skin tones as well. That is exactly what this blush does. This one is in the shade Divine. And it just builds so beautifully. It looks like a crazy, crazy pink. I know that. But look, it is not crazy. It does not have to be crazy. You just have to put on a light application, blend it out, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I did put on a little bit extra because I was filming today, but gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous blush and fantastic formula. It reminds me of my Tarte blushes as far as the way that it builds. For contour, I used the Wet n Wild MegaGlow contouring palette in Dulce de Leche. Now this contouring palette does have a little bit of a warmer tone for the contour, but I feel like it works. If you have a cool skin tone, you may not like the shade. I've heard that the other one, I forget what it's called, but the other one in this line is better for a cooler tone. But I did use that as my contour today, and I do like it. I don't feel like it's so warm that it has to be a bronzer. You can use it, I think, in my opinion, for either. This is what I use to set my under eyes. I actually ended up putting this all over my entire face. For a deeper skin tone, this would be really nice as a highlight. For someone that is a lighter skin tone than me, this may be a little too dark for you as far as highlighting. It matches perfectly with my skin as far as highlighting and a dusting of powder. I really like it a lot. I know it looks lighter than my skin tone, but when you dust it all over, it really leaves a nice finish, and I really enjoy it a lot. For highlight today, my new love, the Anastasia Glow Kit in Gleam. Oh my goodness, I am so in love with this. I'm so in love with you. The reason why I love this thing is because of the uniqueness of some of these highlights, especially hard candy. Hard candy is so stinking fun. It reminds me of, you remember getting those stickers when you were a kid that when you looked at it one way, it looked one way, and then you turned it and then the picture would change? That's exactly what's happening here. Duochrome-ish, but really dramatic duochrome for me. So when you look at it one way, it looks kind of brownish, but then when you turn it, it turns pink. Like really dramatic duochrome for me, and I'm really loving it a lot. I'm really loving it. It's so fun, and you can see it on the cheek. It's really beautiful. It's kind of loud if you don't like a loud highlight. This one's kind of loud, but then you've also got these four, and the pans are huge. They're absolutely huge. But I feel like the most important thing I want to tell you about this is the lasting power. This will seriously last me 12 hours on my cheeks. I am not even kidding. And when I put this on my face at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm not kidding you, by 8 o'clock at night, I still have highlighter on. Like, you can still see it. It is amazing. It is really, really great. I definitely recommend investing in one of these if you're looking for some fun highlights. If you like pop-in highlights. If you like subtle highlights, this is probably not gonna be for you, but if you like that glow, that bam, this is what you want. I got this shade of the NYX Liquid Suede in Soft Spoken in my Ipsy bag, so I wanted to use it again. I've used it quite a few times to kind of remember what it's like, because it's been a while since I've used it. Now, okay, on its own, this formula dries down, feels uncomfortable, and then flakes off. For me personally, I don't enjoy the formula. The initial application is very pretty, but it doesn't feel good. And then it doesn't wear down very well. So what I've been doing is I've either been using my Smashbox Instamatte, which is this one right here over top to keep that matte finish, but to give me some hydration, or I've been topping it with something else, and that's what I chose to do today. I wasn't sure what I wanted to top it with, but one of the pair of lips, I wish I knew who it was, recommended that I try Unicorn Tears over top of it. This is Too Faced Unicorn Tears. It is the craziest, most fun lip product I have ever purchased in my entire life. I will put a link down below to my review of this and how I've tried this on different lipsticks. It is really fun. On the lips by itself, it looks insane. It looks absolutely insane. But over top of another product, it looks so cool. That's what I'm wearing on my lips today. So let me show you. I'm gonna do 2 swatches of Soft Spoken. One I'm going to put without Unicorn Tears, and the other one I'm gonna put Unicorn Tears on top. Let it dry down for a second. So there's my 2 swatches, and I'm gonna put Unicorn Tears over top of this one here, so you can see what it looks like. And look how fun. Isn't that fun? It gives it like that True Prince Purple Rain awesomeness. Isn't that neat? Like, it gives that little shift, and I love it. I'm so excited about this lipstick. Again, I will link the full review of Unicorn Tears down below so you can see me play with it even more, decide whether you want to invest in it. But if this in any way looks interesting to you, I definitely recommend trying it out. It is so, so stinking fun. So that's it for what's on my face this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely hit the subscribe button over to my right. Also to my right is this week's episode of What's Been Makeup. It's my makeup news show where I tell you all the latest makeup releases all over the United States just for this week. It's a really fun video, and it gives you a lot of information about what's coming out, what's new, what's hot in makeup for this week all over the United States. So yeah, all my social media links are down below, and I want to thank you again so much for watching. Mad love, and I'll see you soon. Bye.